What is going on, guys? MJ105 Gundam here, and today I'm in Cityplaza. Surprisingly, there is a Gundam exhibition over here, so I'm just here to check things out and go to the shop zone, maybe pick up some unseen, I don't know, not ever seen anymore model kits along the way. But the one thing that you just saw in the middle was a bust of a 3-meter Gundam, I think. I don't know. But that is a bust of the RX-78-2. And first off, starting off with this booth, we have the evolution of Gunpla. First ever Gunpla kit ever made, I think this is. People keep telling me that this is the entry grade. I don't know. Like the old entry grade, not the modern entry grade, but it's the all-white version of the Gundam. The light is not really doing anything to help this display, but well, of course you do have the first ever 1:100 scale over here of the RX-78-2 Gundam. It's minor color separation, but not too bad for its era. And then we move on 10 years, 1990. First Master Grade Gundam over here. And over here we have the Perfect Grade. It was made so long ago. Good thing there's going to be the Perfect Grade Unleashed that is going to be announced in the expo that is going to be held in November. Of course, here are the first ever high grade Universal Century RX-78-2 Gundam, and then we here have the Master Grade 1.5. Master Grade the Master Grade 1.5 version of the Master Grade RX-78-2. I wonder why half of the history books have not been printed, because I haven't found it yet. So yeah, here we have the Master Grade version Ka of the Gundam, and then here we have a version 2.0 of the Master Grade Gundam. Can't believe it was so many years ago when the 2.0 came out. And then here we have, is this the Revive? Oh man, god damn it, I'm really behind on my Gunpla history here. And of course here we have another 10-year-old kit. This is the Master Grade 3.0, which is the lasting version of the Master Grade Gundam up until this point. And then here we have another one, or maybe that high grade is actually wrong, because I don't remember it actually being 2010. What a mystery. I'm gonna look it up afterwards. But feel free to shout at me in the comments below for not knowing. Or maybe this is talking about the 2010s instead of actually 2010. So basically the decade of 2010 to 2019. Maybe that's it. Maybe that is it. I'm not too sure, but here we have the real grade. Of course, you guys will have the incentive to pick this up now that the real grade Xeon is a thing. And here we have a mega size RX-78-2. Of all the versions, my favorite version is not on the history books here, so don't worry about that. Okay, here we have it. The cross silhouette dual set, of course, is on display over here. I'm just going by booth to booth, so don't mind me. Looking at the runners here, it looks simplistic enough, but it doesn't look okay. So it's only gonna include the cross silhouette frame, as far as I can tell from the box. Not really seeing this set anymore. And of course, here you have the entry grade, the new entry grade Gundam. There's somebody below me, and doesn't look too shabby from what I can see. The real product does look pretty good. It is akin or even on par to the Revive. So this may be a bang for a buck. I have seen reviews of this thing, but unfortunately I can't get this myself. Not from what I know, but this thing does seem to be bang for a buck, and maybe the entry, maybe one of the beginners models that you would pick up instead of the Revive. So yeah, this thing has took over the Revive. And here we have some Gundam Seed displays. Of course, we are missing the Legend Gundam, so yeah, Bandai, get on with it. But here we have a display matte coating finish of the Strike Freedom, Infinite Justice, and Destiny. The Infinite Justice is definitely a fantastic kit, so you guys should most definitely pick it up. I won't recommend a matte top coat though, if you want to spray a matte top coat, because the joints are treated with a flashy silver. So either cut out all the pieces, treat them with a matte top coat, and then build them with the untreated frame, or just not treat it at all, because it does look pretty good right outside of the box. Stripe Freedom Metallic Gold, I'm not really too sure about what that looks like because I never got it. Shame on Jesus Yamato, am I right? And here we have some runners from the Infinite Justice. That's looking pretty good right here. Now that's the 3-meter Gundam. Modeled after the real grid, I believe. Right, so here we have the Perfect Grade Perfect Strike Gundam. Looks as though the builder has treated it with a gloss coating instead this time. Not really sure about that. Of course, we can get a little bit of a preview of the runners if I can stand still. Looking like a pretty large hand over there. So this may have already been treated with a gloss coating. Box over here even has a handle, so that's when Bandai had been serious business there. Of course, here are the Master Grade Barbatos. I did review this kit, so you can check it out. It's pretty good apart from the hooks on the shoulders of the Gundam frame. So yeah, the hooks on the shoulders, those you need to treat them with extra caution. But otherwise, Barbatos is definitely a kit that I would absolutely recommend for you guys, especially the Master Grade. Definitely one of the best versions of the Barbatos there. Right beside them, classic duo, Sazabi and Nu. And FYI, my new heavy weapon system set is going to be coming in November, so don't worry, I'm going to be reviewing that. But for now, we have the classic duo over here looking very nice. Dumbo boss of the new Gundam and some preview runners looking pretty nice there. At this point, I really can't believe how crowded this place is. Like, I know that thing that I can't talk about on YouTube has died down a little bit over here, but it's, well, maybe today is just a public holiday, so that's why everybody is coming here. I don't know, but here we have a Grade Chronicle. So basically a time machine to when the first ever Gunpla has been released, and basically all the grades. This is probably the Revive, I believe. Revives on tops. You have the original, and I can't move to the side. Well, these kits do look pretty cool. And to the side over here, multiple different versions of the RX-78-2. The origin version is pretty good. The industrial design, the G40 is just up to people's taste, but no doubt great engineering in there. Maybe an overabundance of articulation, I don't know, but depends on the builder, I guess. The Beyond Global Gundam, it looks too muted for my taste. And the design just doesn't do it for me. But maybe some of you like it, who knows? I'm not too big of a fan of the smaller shield especially, and the face. And down there, that's the entry grade. That's the entry grade right there, looking very nice, amazing color separation, treated with a matte coating and minimal panel lining. And it's basically on par with the Revive. And here is an exact copy of the other display, just for people to basically get their shots in if the left side is filled with people. And over here, more of the information, looking pretty nice. Of course they had to do this. 2009 Unicorn Gundam, high grade. Displaying the full possibilities of the high grade Universal Century line. Yeah, sure, with the millions of color variants that are out for the Unicorn Gundam. And the fact that I built 2 of those already and one of them just wanted to disintegrate. Sure, but we have the real grade now. And moving over here, we have some new displays. I can't really get my shot in, but yeah, you guys can peek in it from the corner. This down here is the original version of the Wing Gundam Zero Master Grade, and it is looking very simplistic. I've heard people actually hated this version with a passion. Don't know why, I never built it myself, but please tell me in the comments below what you think of the old one. But now we have the new version up there, the version Ka in display in person. Color separation wise and the details looks fantastic. It looks way better than the old one, don't you think? Has more details, more colors, more color tones for that matter. And of course it does come with the Glory of Loser's shield. And the backpack. The backpack is one point of attention. Well, of course, it could transform into the bird mode, but looking over there, if I can get my camera to zoom, these are individual feathers. So if you actually open up the back wings over here, you do have individual feathers that you can move around inside of that rear wing, which is very, very nice. Look at that. So one more thing for you guys to get to be excited for: the Master Grade Wing Gundam Zero version Ka. Now, Snow White maybe? P Bandai Master Grade version Ka Snow White? Not sure, but from what I've heard, the joints are actually reusing the joints that are from the Glory of Losers versions of the Wing Gundam kits. So if you've built one of those, maybe you will know what to expect, but for me, it's just a Master Grade Wing Zero. I don't have the space for it, nor the money. Trying to save up from all the big budget purchases that I made this year. You guys know what. Not going to talk about it anymore. But down here we also have some more of these Master Grade Wing Gundams. But arguably, the Wing Gundam Zero version Ka, although it may be unnecessary and maybe a little bit on Bandai's ignorance for ignoring the G-Cell pull back way, I don't know when, but there is no doubt this kit right here looks absolutely promising. Something that is also promising is the Master Grade Extreme version Ka Toki Unicorn Gundam. And of course they have the automated light setting on. But shields, display people, fix those please. They need to be extended for destroy mode, but it's nice to see the light action going on in person, and I feel like the automation on the shields is broken because, well, they're not lighting up, but I did see a glimpse of the total internal reflection technology that they went for in the shield pieces, which looks okay because, well, there's a gigantic glass pyramid above us, so under bright light, the lights are not going to look too good, just like the one of the real life size Unicorn Gundam. But no doubt this thing does look pretty good. And I've seen reviews, the only gripe that the reviewer had is the arm over here, dislocating from the shoulder if you play around with it for too much. And of course the transformation is incomplete, just as usual for transformable Unicorn Gundams that I've seen over the years in display. But this kit is definitely, I don't know what to call it because it's not just a step up from the original Master Grade Unicorn. But of course we can expect the remaining versions of the Unicorn Gundam to be released in Master Grade Extreme form. But from what I'm looking at here, this thing does look pretty good, but it is charging a price of the perfect grade, so I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm saving up my money to make up for the losses that I encountered this year, but it's very unfortunate that this thing doesn't glow blue. But FYI, from what I've seen from that reviewer, the lights do glow blue if you have a black light on, so that's pretty good. And the body doesn't reflect the black light, so blue cycle frame if you have a UV light. Okay, Gunpla Evolution Project. No, nothing really to see here. Of course, the Zeta Gundam. And I'm not really too sure which version this is. Oh, okay, this is the retail version, not the P Bandai version. Of course. Down there, Leo Evolution Point. Fine build engineering. They really went ahead and did well with this system, I must say, but the Geminus is a dud when using this system, so please no. And the Mercurius and the Vi-8, modified versions of the Leo that has less articulation than the Leo maybe, I'm not sure, I haven't built the Leo ever. Over here, PGXia. Still looking pretty good after all these years, but the lights aren't on, so we cannot witness the aurora luminescence in this display. I've witnessed it a few times already, so no thank you, but it's pretty nice to see that this thing is put here just to display for the Gunpla Evolution project. And of course here we have the real Grade Unicorn Gundam. Still a legend to this day. Of course, well, the leg armor just dropped, thanks gravity. But one of the legendary real Grade kits to date. So you guys can check out my review of the real Grade Unicorn Gundam and the canon variants. This is still a pretty good kit. Okay, of course down here, extreme detail for the real grade Crossbone Gundam. Unfortunately, the ABC is not equipped on this kit. Maybe just to display more of the kit itself. But no doubt the Crossbone Gundam is very, very good. Still waiting on the X2 Kai though, Bandai. Get your work together. Of course, premium freaking Bandai, where all the Gunpla kits have shifted to these days. But I'm glad that we get to see some displays that we didn't get to see in the past, especially when I get to see the heavy weapon system set for the real Great New Gundam in actual person. Looking very nice there. Unfortunately, the front skirts don't have the goddamn sub-arms. Come on. It's easily implemented into the Master Grade, so I'm sure they can shrink that feature down and put it in the freaking real grade. Okay, somebody dropped the paper, but looking at that from the back looks very intimidating. And we can barely get a look at all the new armor pieces that are going to be used in the heavy weapon system New Gundam. And not many pieces need to be taken off, so that's a plus. But down here we have the titanium finish of the real Great Strike Freedom. You know how much I hate Jesus Yamato and the old real grades. This thing doesn't hold up well, but maybe the titanium finish may help it out very, very well. Next to it is the Barbatos over here again, but this is going to be displaying the premium Bandai expansion set for the Barbatos, so you can make Form 1 through Form 6. And of course this is the 6th form. The wrench mace looking very intimidating there. And of course here's the rest of the gear with, I don't know if Orga is here, but of course you do get all the equipment to get Form 1 through Form 5. Maybe, just maybe, with the shield and the boosters and the armor, we may get a Schwald Graze in Master Grade form, who knows. In the back over here we have the mission packs to make the F90 officer type and the F90 uplift type. Still, I have no clue what the officer type is for, because all you have new fins and a new rifle. I wanted to use this for inspiration for a core Gundam armor. I am serious here, but with me not knowing what the officer type is for, it's just hard to put my finger around it. I don't know, but the uplift type is utterly useless because you're gonna throw that away after you have launched the F90 to space. But it does make for some, I don't know, nostalgic display because this is basically a space shuttle, I don't know. But over here we have the Gundam Stormbringer Fatal Ash / GM Turbulence. So this kit comes with all the parts that you can make all the parts that you can use to create the GM Turbulence or the Stormbringer Fatal Ash. Looking pretty nice over there. I really wish it was the Gundam displayed instead of the GM, but yeah, we all have our preferences. And over here we have the high-grade Tri-H Gundam, and my suspicions were correct. They are going to be using stickers for the A's instead of asking you to paint them in. But the Tri-H Gundam is actually the same as the Tri-H Magnum, so if you've seen that kit, then you've seen it all. The only difference being the colors and the addition of effect parts for you to simulate the rifle shooting and other things among that. And over here we have the real grade version of the Sword Impulse Gundam. Now, of course it pulled out the beam boomerang, so we cannot get to see the sword silhouette in full action while it uses the Excaliburs, which looks nice by the way. And it looks as though the beam boomerangs can be posed in different orientations or something like different angles for the blades. So overall, this roster of kits looking pretty good there. And of course, we cannot speak about P Bandai without speaking of this luxurious kit right here. The 1:144 scale, I believe. Yeah, 1:144 scale Gundarium alloy model. You have the actual box, the behind of the box, you have a plaque over here to certify that you actually have the genuine version of the Gundarium alloy Gundam. And of course there's a card over here to yet again certify that you have the genuine version of the Gundarium alloy RCV2. Now this is how it's going to be packaged with the stupid sun that's streaming in. And this is just basically going to be metal, but the joints are going to be in ABS plastic, so I'm not really too sure how good this thing is going to hold up. But this thing is only for the richest people. I have a feeling that this setup of a room is a reference to something, but I'm not sure. Maybe one Gunpla builder's room from the build series, I'm not too sure, but please tell me in the comments below if you recognize this setup. And over in these two halls, we do get some non-Gundam products. Over here, of course, the RG EVAs. We have Unit 0, Unit 1, and now Unit 2. And, well, EVA, or Evangelion now, is going to be collaborating with Tower of Savior. So if you're a player of that game, look out for the collaboration event. And of course, you have the Super Messengers over there, treated with a gloss coating. Looking pretty nice, but not really too into the Messenger line. But the newest one over here, I don't know crap about the Messengers, so forgive me for that. Over here we have Sakura Wars. Don't know what that's all about, but the top one is a straight out of the box build with stickers, but underneath it is a fully painted build. So this just displays how much effort the builders are gonna go into to actually make these things look good for display. But overall, these things just look fantastic. And of course, here at the Best Hit Chronicle line. So the two only releases, surprised they didn't put the cup noodles here, for the Best Hit Chronicle line. So we do have the Sega Saturn and the PS1. With finely structured interiors and working mechanisms. Unfortunately, you cannot plug this into an HDMI and actually play it. Behind us, more entry grade, so Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Dragon Ball Z, and Doraemon. So this may trigger all of your nostalgia. They have to make a Dorami soon. Digimon. And I believe this is Gal Gaigar. Not too sure. Still can't read Japanese. Here you have it. And then finally a collection of Kamen Riders. These are all figurized standard kits. And of course, here we have some displays. But the black background is not just for show. Basically what this is to allow you guys to use the flashlight to take a picture. And supposedly the black background will actually show an actual dioramic background. So I'm going to show photos of this one over here, and of course there's the one for the classic Zaku and Gundam combination, to basically let you guys see what the background is and to see if it actually works. Shamelessly, they actually, I don't know, the Bandai Hobby site website over here, free, I don't know, it's free to watch. Of course, Girl Divers Re-Rise, amazing. Wing, not too sure, not my cup of tea. Unicorn, don't see the point in seeing the actual remastered version when we've seen all 7 episodes of the OVA. And shamelessly, they don't plan to continue this. I don't think so, but it's still up there. 6 episodes with an incomplete story. Wow. And here's a closer look at the Universal Century Revived Gundam and the new Char's Zaku 2. Like I said, there's going to be a photo up for the flashlight version of a photo. Caution, all screws and brushings must be raised. Disconnect antenna cable through partially open door. But of course, it wouldn't be a Gunpla Expo event without some specials that you can buy in this event. So there's a fully clear Master Grade Shinanju. There's the Gundam base version of the Master Grade Gundam 3.0. the full release of the Narrative Gundam B-Packs High Grade. Shame that I didn't get to get that. Of course, here are some older ones like the Real Grade Wayne Zero Clear Color version, the Luminous Crystal Body of the Unicorn Gundam High Grade, unfortunately, and the Gundam over here. Is this the High Grade? This is kind of like a special finish version of the High Grade Revive, I'm not too sure. And over here to the side, we do have a special color finish Master Grade version Kawasabi, the clear version of the Master Grade Barbatos, just in case you would love to see those inner mechanisms going your way. A clear version of the Master Grade 3.0 Gundam, a real grade version of a clear version of the real grade Double Quanta Full Saber, the SD version of the G3 Gundam, and shamelessly the high grade version of the Unicorn Gundam Perfectibility. Oh my god. We have the real grade right now, for God's sake. Sell that thing instead. And then we have the clear version of the Beyond Global Gundam, this time using the more accurate tones of color. It's not as muted anymore, but still clear versions, not my cup of tea. And the face still gets me. But over here we have like a triple pack. So we have the original Gundam, obviously, and then we do have the this is the original high grade Universal Century, but in a titanium finish. And here we have something that is concocted up by a half-wit, the half clear version of a titanium finish version of the real grade Gundam. So this is going to be sold as a 3-pack. It is going to be called the Gundam 40th Anniversary Memorial Set. So for those of you who are fans of that, you can pick up the history of the RX-78-2 Gundam. Still no modernized versions packed into this thing, however. Over there we have the Master Grade version of the Perfectibility. Open up those shields, please. And then we have a chrome version of the Hyakushiki High Grade. This definitely looks better than the shit gold that was the actual release. We have the clear version of the cross silhouette RX-78-2 Gundam. And here we have, what is this? This is the Victory Dai Shogun. This is a clear color version. And of course they have the Petite Guy and a Haro. Most profitable products in the Gunpla line. But unfortunately, I'm not interested in any of these. Not at all. You know me, not really a fan of special color coating versions, but unless they pose significant lore, like significance in the Gunpla universe, then I'm passing on that. Okay, and open up the crotch, please. God damn it, I've seen enough people make that mistake already on the Unicorn. Of course, missed out on this Gunpla production. Now, not that I haven't seen any of this in the Gundam base Tokyo, but it does display the production of Gunpla. Of course, it started with these beads over here, colored beads, and the blueprint. So, is the blueprint of the dubious Arc in the Reverse Turn X drawn up already? Please tell me. God damn it, Bandai. But anyways, here we start with these beads. And then here is a model of the production factory. So I think this is the part where, no, this is not the part where they actually do up the CGI 3D image. This is the actual production line. So color schemes maybe for is maybe just for show, or maybe just for color coordinating the entire staff. So maybe this one is for the original Gundam, this one is for the Rick Dom or something like that. I don't know. But of course, here has some draftings of the high grade Penelope background. I really wish I had the God Rays background over here. And of course, here we have to yet again see the high grade Penelope. Huge kit. Not to be too interested, but underneath it, unfortunately, we do have a draft of the actual box art. So yeah, it comes to show how much effort they put into their actual box art over there, and then overlaying it with the high grade Universal Century logo, the name, the tag, Japanese name, and their logo, combining all of those together, we do finally get a box art. So it is pretty interesting to actually see, or actually kind of envision, the Gunpla production process. So now let's wrap things up while taking a look at the behind of the 3-meter Gundam. Now, there are no new releases that are newly announced here. The only things that we get to see is the Master Grade version car of the Wing Zero Custom. So yeah, that kit looks a little like I don't know, but that kit looks promising to the Gunpla market in general. So definitely get your hopes up for the real grade Wing Zero version car. But all in all, we just saw the history of Gunpla here as a whole. And of course there's a shop zone I'm gonna go to later on just to pick up maybe some kits that I didn't get to see in the past few months anymore. So that's gonna wrap it up for me. Tell me in the comments below what you think about this expo and what are you gonna be excited for in the following months, considering October is just a barren wasteland.